What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. I've got a fun video for you today. I'm going to be opening up this package here from Kino Lorber. All of the items in this box are from the Kino Lorber While Supplies Last section. If you don't know, there's a section on Kino Lorber's website called While Supplies Last. All things that are about to go out of print, and they're usually marked down pretty cheap, kind of on sale. So maybe go check that out if you didn't know about that. I didn't know about it either until someone brought it up a few weeks ago on the live stream, and that's when this package was sent to me. Sean Cornwell sent me this package, and I gotta apologize to Sean because it's been here for a while. He sent this to me a few weeks ago now. I'm just now getting around to making a video about it. It's been a very busy month, but I am very thankful for the package. He sent this to me in my P.O. Box, 5200 right there. The rest of the address is in the description if you're interested in supporting the channel and sending anything my way. But we're gonna open this up and show you guys what's inside. There it is. Bunch of Kino Lorber titles right there. I'll slide it over here and we can take a look at what's inside. Starting with this box set, because this is kind of what started it all. This came up on the live stream and somebody mentioned that it was in the While Supplies Last section. And here it is, the Pioneers of African-American Cinema. Such a cool box set. I'm gonna go ahead and open this right up because I love Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber has tons and tons, maybe the biggest library of any boutique label, but they're very bare bones. They don't do a bunch of bells and whistles. They don't do a lot of box sets. Usually their box sets are just regular cases stuck in a little flimsy cardboard slip case, but this is a great looking box set. It's a full digipack box set. Looks like something you'd get from Severin or even Criterion. There's even a nice booklet in there. We'll open it up. That's the back right there. Lists all the films over here in the red section, and a little blurb right there, and some bonus features right there at the bottom. It says 5-disc collection, 19 digitally restored feature films, short films, fragments, documentaries, 80-page booklet, interviews, musical scores, and includes bonus content not available on the DVD. So this is a Blu-ray box set. I'll take everything out here, your standard slipcover case, and we'll take a look at the digipack first. This is the cover of the digipack. Got one of the posters right there on the front. Opens up, has some quotes here on the other side, and then has all the disc information here. So you've got disc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then every film on each disc. This is such a cool release. I didn't even know about this. I'm so glad it came up on the weekly live show. I love doing that with you guys. I always learn so much doing those shows. Here's all 5 discs, just standard artwork right there. A lot of these are silent films. I believe maybe all of these are silent films. What are the years on this? Yeah, no, 1920 and goes all the way up to 1941. So we're getting into sound a little bit. 80-page booklet in here as well. There's the front of that. And it's exactly what you want. It's got the original posters, tons of writing and information about each film. Behind the scenes, black and white photos from the time. I love this kind of stuff. Lesser known films, forgotten films. People do not talk about this kind of stuff. I've been trying to collect as much silent cinema as I can, usually through Criterion, but I'm starting to collect everything that Criterion has to offer, so I'm moving on to some of the other labels. What a lovely addition from Kino Lorber. That's awesome. And then we're gonna move on to some standard releases here. So we've got quite a few. All right, so starting right here on the top, like I said, I knew that one was coming because we talked about it on the stream. The rest of these are gonna be surprises because he just picked these based on what was almost out of print. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we have here. It's gonna be a little grab bag. The first one here is another collection of films, 4 films by Francois Truffaut, the Francois Truffaut Collection. The Wild Child, Small Change, The Man Who Loved Women, and The Green Room. Haven't seen any of those films. Have not seen nearly enough Truffaut. Truffaut is a very prolific director, French director. He's got several films in the Criterion Collection, but I don't believe any of those 4 are in the collection. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not familiar with those titles. So this is very cool. I did not know that Kino Lorber put this out. Completely off my radar. The Truffaut Collection. Very, very cool. I need to watch more Truffaut. I need to watch more French New Wave in general. This next one I am familiar with. This was actually in my Amazon wish list. It's Christmas in July. I've been wanting to buy this for the last couple years, add it to my Christmas collection. I have a big Christmas collection. I like to buy them throughout the year and watch them in December. I don't know if this is gonna make for a good December watch or not. So let me know in the comments if you've seen this one. I'm guessing it takes place in July and it's actually a summer movie, but maybe it'll make sense to watch around Christmas time. Looking forward to that, not just because of Christmas, but because it's written and directed by Preston Sturges, who directed The Lady Eve, The Palm Beach Story. He's got a bunch of big films out there. Some of them are in the Criterion Collection. I've seen a few films by him, so I'm looking forward to checking out another one. This is a black and white film from 1940, Christmas in July. The next one we have is The Tarnished Angels, directed by Douglas Sirk. Douglas Sirk is another director I'm familiar with. I think he has 3 films in the Criterion Collection. I've seen a couple of them, loved both of them. He is an incredible director. He usually does melodramas. I don't know if this is a melodrama or not, but it stars Rock Hudson, again, who he frequently collaborated with, Robert Stack and Dorothy Malone. Set in the 1930s Depression era during Mardi Gras in New Orleans, The Tarnished Angels covers 3 days in the lives of a trio of flying circus performers, headlined by World War I fighter pilot hero Roger Schumann. Interesting. Yeah, it has all 3 of the films listed here. Magnificent Obsession, All That Heaven Allows, and Written on the Wind. Those are his 3 films that are in the Criterion Collection. Highly recommend All That Heaven Allows. Amazing film. Also takes place around Christmas time. And it says it's adapted for the screen by George Zuckerman, who wrote 99 River Street, which I also have in the collection back there. Very excited about this one. I did not know this was about a group of circus performers. That's actually really fun. And a film that I didn't even know Douglas Sirk made. So this is interesting. I'll show you the inside of one of these. They're all the same. They use the same Studio Classics logo, the same artwork on all their discs, but The Tarnished Angels sounds like a lot of fun, and I know Grace will be interested in that one because she loves Douglas Sirk as well. And the next one we have here looks really fun. This is Dr. Cyclops, directed by Ernest Schoedsack, who directed the original King Kong film, one of my top 100 favorite films of all time. He also did The Most Dangerous Game the year before, in 1932. This looks like a sci-fi film. I'm going to quickly read through this. Brand new 4K master from Ernest B. Schoedsack and Marion C. Cooper, the legendary team behind King Kong, The Most Dangerous Game, and Mighty Joe Young. That's true, he did Mighty Joe Young. Another amazing movie. Comes this early Technicolor science fiction classic about a brilliant but deranged physicist who learns how to shrink his enemies to 1/5 their normal size. 4 explorers are summoned to the remote jungle laboratory of the legendary scientist Dr. Thorkel. When they arrive, they discover that his brilliant mind has been warped by radiation and decide to return him to civilization for help. This sounds amazing. I love Schoedsack. I'm sure he did other things as well, but he's really well known for his adventure films. And this looks like a sci-fi twist, but it does have similar adventure qualities. Like it's in the jungle, of course. He likes to shoot in the jungle. It looks like it might just be a 2-tone color film, like early films that are just red-green. I can't tell if this is just lighting, like stylistic choice, or if it actually is a 2-tone film. But most of the colors on the back are green and orange. That's really interesting. I have not heard of Dr. Cyclops, but I do like Ernest Schoedsack. Next we have Love Me Tonight from 1932. This is a romance, a musical starring Chevalier, who we have been watching. We've watched several musicals starring Chevalier recently, mostly from Ernst Lubitsch. There's a collection of Ernst Lubitsch musicals in the Criterion. Well, it's not in the Criterion Collection. It's in an Eclipse series put out by the Criterion Collection. We got that for Christmas a couple years back, and Grace and I have been watching through those periodically. Chevalier is in a lot of those, and he's amazing. This is not directed by Ernst Lubitsch, though. This is directed by Robin Mamoulian, who I didn't think I was familiar with, but I just looked up. He has directed some of my absolute favorite films. He directed the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde film from 1931, which is one of my favorite horror films of all time. He also directed The Mark of Zorro, which is one of my favorite adventure films of all time. That's 1940. That stars Tyrone Power. That Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde stars Miriam Hopkins and Frederick March. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. Watch it this October. It's one of the best horror movies ever made. Also recommend Mark of Zorro. Tyrone Power is amazing in that. So hopefully he's great at musicals too. He's great at adventure films, great at horror films. Hopefully we enjoy this one as well. We're always in the mood for a classic musical. This is very, very early days of musical, early days of sound cinema in general. 1932, Ernst Lubitsch's musicals absolutely hold up, so I'm hoping this one does as well. Love Me Tonight. High hopes for that one. Grace will definitely want to watch that one with me too. She loves classic musicals, and she loves Chevalier. We've recently gotten into his work. Tons of supplements on the back of that one too, including an audio commentary and lots of featurettes. So a wonderful release. So happy to have that in the collection. Next up, we've got Murder, He Says, starring Fred MacMurray. Fred MacMurray, obviously from Double Indemnity and Remember the Night. Speaking of Christmas movies, one of the best Christmas movies. And of course, he shows up later in The Apartment. This is a crime comedy directed by George Marshall, the outstanding director of Destry Rides Again, which is in the Criterion Collection. It's one of my favorite Westerns, stars James Stewart. It's incredible. He also did The Ghost Breakers, The Blue Dahlia, Pillars of the Sky, and How the West Was Won. So another very versatile director. Westerns, noirs, and ghosts movies? I haven't seen that one, but that one sounds interesting. This is a hilarious crime comedy about Trotter Pauling Company employee Pete Marshall, who is sent from the back roads and into the backwoods in search of a missing fellow pollster. So that'll be interesting. I'm interested to see Fred MacMurray in a crime comedy after seeing him in Double Indemnity, a very serious film noir, probably the most famous film noir. So I'm interested to see how he does with comedy in that. He's, of course, done comedy before. I've seen him in Remember the Night, but this should be a lot of fun. That's another one that Grace will really like. She loves crime, and she loves comedies, and she loves Fred MacMurray, because Double Indemnity, I think, is her favorite film noir. Maybe not. It's definitely top 5 up there for her, though. Maybe top 3, at least. Next one we have here is The Good Fairy, another one written by Preston Sturges, but not directed by Preston Sturges. It's directed by William Wyler. Look at this. We've got Margaret Sullivan and Herbert Marshall in The Good Fairy. So this is William Wyler, Ben-Hur, Roman Holiday, and recently he did Funny Girl. Well, he didn't make it recently, but I watched it recently. We just watched it in Musical May last month for the first time. This is from Preston Sturges, of course, the acclaimed screenwriter of The Great McGinty, La Lady Eve, and The Palm Beach Story, which we just read about on the last film. But William Wyler, the renowned director of The Best Years of Our Lives, The Big Country, and Ben-Hur, comes this classic romantic comedy about a naive girl just out of a cloistered orphanage who finds that being a good fairy to strangers makes life awfully complicated. So there we go. We've got a nice romantic comedy starring Margaret Sullivan. She comes from an orphanage, and I'm assuming she's gonna fall in love. I'm kind of wishing I had had Grace do this video with me, because she is gonna love all of these releases. Next one here, we've already mentioned it several times. It is The Great McGinty, directed and written by Preston Sturges. From Preston Sturges comes this classic comedy about an opportunist who turns corruption into a promising political career, but struggles to stay on top when he tries to go honest. Dan McGinty is a hungry hobo who wows the ballot stuffers by voting 37 times in an election for mayor. He immediately becomes the protege of the boss, who guides and schemes McGinty to alderman, mayor, and ultimately governor with a series of payoffs, kickbacks, and bribes. So another classic comedy from Preston Sturges. That'll be great to watch with The Good Fairy and Christmas in July. Nice little trilogy of romantic comedies there. Next one we have is called Easy Living, and this is directed by Mitchell Leisen, who directed Remember the Night. We just talked about Fred MacMurray in Remember the Night. This is the director of Remember the Night. All of these movies are connected. They all come out right around the same time, 30s and 40s. This is 1937, and it stars Ray Milland, who's in a bunch of stuff. You probably know him from different things. I've seen him in Ministry of Fear, which is a Fritz Lang crime film noir film that we watched last November in Noirvember, and he's also in The Uninvited, which we just watched last year as well. Wonderful little horror film, little ghost story that is also in the Criterion Collection. He's great in that, and he's really funny in that. He's got very understated comedy sensibilities that I really appreciated, and The Uninvited is great. I highly recommend it. So this is Mitchell Leisen, or Leeson, I might be pronouncing that wrong, the legendary director of Death Takes a Holiday, Midnight, and Remember the Night. And I think Midnight is also getting a Criterion release this month. I think Midnight is just about to get released from Criterion. I can't wait to watch that one. I haven't seen it yet. Hollywood greats Jean Arthur and Ray Milland shine in this screwball comedy written by the great Preston Sturges, who we've talked about a bunch. Mary Smith is a poor working girl who literally has a fortune dropped in her lap when a wealthy financier tosses a sable coat out a window and it lands on her. Everyone automatically assumes she's his mistress, and soon her fairy tale-like rags to riches lifestyle threatens a very real romance with her inept waiter. Sounds great. That's going to be all of the romantic and screwball comedies that we have to talk about. These last two are very different. This one is called Thunder Bay, and it's directed by Anthony Mann and stars James Stewart. They collaborated a bunch together. They did a bunch of westerns together. They used to be on the Criterion Channel. You can get one of them in the Criterion Collection. Actually, I have it on my desk over here. I have a bunch of Criterions over here that I just got recently. This is the new 4K of Winchester 73. You may have heard about it. It was a big deal when it came out. This is a great movie. I haven't seen the rest of the westerns that they did together. James Stewart and Anthony Mann did a bunch of westerns together. This is the only one I've seen, but I loved it, and I can't wait to watch more. This is not a western. This is Thunder Bay, and it says, a storm of excitement swirls around James Stewart in this dynamic tale of adventurous wildcatters searching for black gold in the Gulf of Mexico. Dan Duryea teams with Stewart as a pair of oil prospectors who must stand up to devastating hurricanes, dangerous love affairs, and a hostile town of Cajun fishermen to strike pay dirt. So it's an adventure movie, a disaster movie. It's kind of like a western, but not a western. I don't know. That looks really cool. I'm interested in the cast and director alone, Anthony Mann and James. I'll watch anything with James Stewart. Grace and I are trying to watch as many James Stewart movies as we can. We don't have this one. I hadn't even heard of this one. So very happy to have that one in the collection. And Anthony Mann, always very happy to watch his films as well. The last one here is very unique in this stack. I have no idea what this is, but I love me some good old-fashioned goofy 50s dinosaur movies. It's The Land Unknown from 1957, a Navy expedition led by Commander Hal Roberts, who's from Tarzan Goes to India, which is a lot of fun, is sent to explore a mysterious warm water region shrouded in the ice of Antarctica. When a fierce storm drives them into a cloud bank, their helicopter is disabled. Descending through the heavy fog into a deep chasm, they enter a hot tropical landscape of prehistoric terror. So basically the Lost World. It's kind of the Lost World trope. They find this island or this area in the world that's not on the maps, and dinosaurs still live there. And it looks like, I don't know if there's stop motion in this one or not. There may be in some places, but this here on the back is not stop motion. It looks like miniatures. There's a little miniature dinosaur right there and a little miniature helicopter. Who doesn't love classic adventure sci-fi creature features like this from the 1950s? I do. I don't know if everyone does. I'm definitely going to enjoy that one. Looks like a lot of fun. I love The Lost World, going all the way back to, what was that, 1925 with stop motion. We'll see if this one has stop motion or not. But that is everything in the stack. We have quite an array of different kinds of films. There are some similarities between a lot of those ones, especially the comedies, but there is quite a variety in there. So thank you so much, Sean, for sending those my way, especially that very unique box set from Kino Lorber. And this is a reminder to everyone out there to check the While Supplies Last section on Kino Lorber's website. If you click the shop link at the top, you'll get a drop-down list, and the second option there is the While Supplies Last section. Check it frequently because I feel like it changes a lot. I'm looking at it right now and I don't see a lot of these releases in there, so they may already be gone, and I'm seeing a lot of different films that'll be gone soon. So check that out if you're interested in any of Kino Lorber's releases that are about to go out of print. They're pretty good deals. They're all marked down to like $9.99. I'm seeing $7.99. It looks great. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on that. I wasn't aware of it until now, so thank you guys for letting me know in the live streams, and I'll talk to you in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed me going through those. Hope it was helpful. Hope you got some ideas for some watch nights in the future. Give me a like if you could down below. I'd really appreciate it. Maybe hit the subscribe button if you're interested in physical media, and I'll be back with more videos real soon, but until then, keep collecting.